Oh, and Renata is here. Wonderful, wonderful.
So I'm in the UK at the moment.
Yeah, that's nice. Thank you.
Yes. It's a little bit warmer, I think.
I also, by the looks of it, I was told to.
But only a little bit.
Yeah, you've had a lot of rain, I saw in Europe. Eh?
A lot of rain. We haven't really had much summer in England anyway this year.
But yeah. Okay, and then we have Carrie from Cape Town. Let's go to start at the top. We've got Alta from Nelspruit, Antoinette from Somerset West. We've got Zoe from Joburg. We've got Amanda from Vereniging. We got Renata from Vienna in Austria. Nice to see you here again. Wonderful. And then we have Uzma. Uzma is she's from Dubai, and Renata also used to be in Dubai. That's where I know her from. So that's great. And then we have somebody that dialed in. I don't know where that person is from, but that doesn't matter. It's wonderful to have you all here. And then we have Carleen from, and she's in Carleen. And we got Helene from Joburg. That's right. And Carleen, we were talking about you a bit earlier. Are you still in Botswana?
Hi, yes, I am.
That's cool. And then we have Sana. Where are you from? Would love to hear where you're from. If you're from South Africa, give me a city or which country you're from. Love to hear from where you are. It's always nice to have an international audience. That makes me feel super important.
I'm based in Dubai, but I'm originally from Pakistan.
Okay, that's great. Great. Okay, I'm going to start sharing my screen. And so we are all together here to talk about finding that self-healing solution so that we can take our health back into our own hands. And there is so much that we can do, and there's so much that it's so important that we do what we're going to do. And I realized for a moment, while I'm thinking of it, I need to share sound. Wait a minute, I'm just going to stop share and share again so that I can share the sound. So when I play my video a bit later, it will be working. Okay, so we are recording. If can you see the recording going? Is it being recorded? Yes, I do remember that. And so I want to give you a little bit of background of myself for those of you that don't know me. So my name is Hannah Kok. I'm the Happy Ever After coach. I've written this book. And it's not only about relationships, it's also about finding your happiness again after you've been shoveling some of that brown stuff that life likes to dish out for us. So I just want to give you some background, and maybe we can all mute so that we can, and then if we've got questions and answers, mute. Anyway, so the whole thing is, for my background, is that I've started working on the mind-body connection already in 1989. I qualified as a brain gym practitioner in 1993. So that's a long time ago. And I've been, since that time, helping people to assist them to heal by working with the subconscious mind. And I'll be giving you lots of ideas what you can do tonight. As I mentioned, I'm the author of this book, and my book is really a lot about trauma release, and I work with that a lot. And then I qualified as an allergy practitioner in 2009. And in 2014, I became a medical intuitive through my Theta Healing training. So this is a bit about my background and why I am talking to you tonight on the subject of self-healing, and that there are solutions for that. Now, before we start, I just want to do this little exercise with you, just for fun, and I'm going to uncover some dots, and I want you to count how many blue dots you can see. And I know that was super short, but maybe you can take a guess and put in the chat how many yellow dots did you see? Not how many blue dots. How many yellow dots did you see while you were looking for those blue ones? You see any? You want to type in the chat, how many did you see? We see some sort of Antoinette 3, 10, 5, 2. Are we guessing here or did you actually count it? Ah, Carlene 5 and we had another one on 5. Yes, you're right. There were 5 yellow dots. But most people don't see those things because what happens is when we're looking at something, depending on what we're focusing on, depending what our expectations and our beliefs are, we filter out that information because we are bombarded with so much information that we have to filter it out. Now, the tip number 1 to be or become healthy is to be open-minded so that you can see all the colors of the dots, that you can see the possibilities and the opportunities and the ideas that come your way so that you can become or stay healthy in different ways than you had thought of before. So is there anybody here that is worried about your health? Have you got any health issues that you are concerned about? Maybe you want to put that in the chat. What are you dealing with right now with your health that you would like to get some ideas tonight? Anybody any health issues? You can put it in the chat. Okay, we got eyesight going fuzzy. Oh yes, I know that one. Acid reflux for Anneke, Carlene, managing the workload versus self-care. It's just too much work. Okay, that's cool. All right, so the daughter has an abscess under her arm, Antoinette. Okay, yes, definitely. And headaches, says Zoe. So let's have a look and see what we can do today to help you solve some of those issues. And allergies, says Renata, and asthma and a constant COVID conversation, says Uzma. Right, well, I just recovered from COVID and I had such a mild COVID. And then a heel spur, says Sana. Okay, so, and I will share with you what I did to be healthier. And then Halo still wants to release 20 centimeters of her waist. Okay, so are you worried about your health? We talked about that. And now I'm going to, you already know how to support your health, your immune system with the regular things like eating healthily, ensure the intake of your vitamin C and vitamin D. They're so important for your immune system. Sleep well, regular exercise, and reduce stress and drink water. So I'm not going to talk about those ideas. You know that already. But what we are going to talk about is, first, we want to have an understanding of how our defense mechanisms work, and then we can get a better understanding of what we can do to support our immune system. So we have 2 defense mechanisms. We've gotten one for external defense. Now we don't have spikes, but we have arms and legs that we use to defend ourselves, either to fight or to run away. And we have a third option available of freezing. Those are our external defense mechanisms. And then we have the internal affairs defense mechanism. Basically, that is dealing with our internal issues, including dealing with the virus, bacterial infections, and other things that go on inside of us. Cancer, you name it, that's all part of the internal system. Now, normally, if we are in a relaxed, calm, and integrated state, then our blood flows to all areas of the body. But when we are under stress, and this defense mechanism was developed for the caveman days and it hasn't changed that much. So if there was a lion or a saber-toothed tiger, they're ready to chase you, your body would prepare for it. It would tighten the muscles in the neck, make you ready to fight or to flight by getting the blood to go to the arms and legs, ready to fight. Where does it take it from? It takes it from your digestive system. It takes you from your higher brain functioning and from your immune system. Now, we have the internal, so the immune system is there to deal with internal threats. So we have white blood cells, and if you can just mute yourself there, that's it. So we have our internal, the white blood cells that gobble up these viruses and bacteria if they do their job properly. But there are other things as well that when we are healthy, our cells become much more difficult to penetrate by these viruses. So it is very important that we don't only focus on the immune system, but on our overall health, so that we just become unattractive for these viruses, bacteria, parasites, etc. Now, the problem is that the external defense mechanisms gets priority over the internal one. In other words, and it makes sense. I mean, even if you're struggling with a virus, if that lion is chasing you, you have to run no matter how many viruses you've got floating in the bloodstream. Because if that lion gets you, you're dead anyway. So the external defense mechanism gets priority over the internal one. And what is happening now with all the fear that is going around, we are now perceiving this virus as an external threat. And we are shutting down, at least partly shutting down our immune system to fight and flight from this threat. But we're looking in the wrong place. We're fighting the wrong enemy. Then also our immune system needs energy. And let's see.
Imagine we have this amount of energy for the day and we spend it on our daily activities. We use it for work, for dealing with people, problem solving, digestion, and bodily repair and renewal. And then we have a nice amount left for our immune system to operate. It is important that we fill up our tank again. Sleep and rest play a huge role in filling up the tank so that we have that full tank for the next day. But most people don't spend their energy wisely. They spend time on their daily activities and then they worry about what will happen in the future. They're angry and resentful about what happened in the past. They like to control things they cannot control. And now the tank is empty. And then they don't give themselves enough rest. So in the morning, the tank is only half full. And then they start their day with worrying about the future and the past, going to work that they don't enjoy, and now the tank is empty again. We are prone to illness when our immune system doesn't have the energy to do its job.
Okay, so it is very important that we make sure we have the energy by resting and sleeping. And you know what? I've noticed many times with my clients, they only rest when they're sick, instead of resting while you're healthy, so you don't have to get sick, to give yourself permission to rest. So that is a very important thing that you can do. Then I want to share with you how stress affects our functioning. You see, we have basically three brains. We have a survival brain, an emotional brain. We have the cortex that includes the prefrontal cortex. Now, this prefrontal cortex is super important. This is where our higher wisdom lies, our problem-solving capabilities, and our ability to put things into perspective. This part switches off up to 85% of the brain. So basically, of the prefrontal cortex. Now, so basically your frontal is switched off. Now, they also speak about how your left brain and the right brain. When you're relaxed, both parts of the brain work. When you're stressed, half of it switches off as well. So basically, you are now dealing with life, driving around with three flat tired. You're super ineffective. You cannot put things in perspective. And now you're coming from that survival brain that sees everything as a threat, preparing you for fight and flight and shutting down the immune system. So this is really a problem for, this is a threat for our immune system, that when we are stressed, we see everything as a threat. We basically become very good at making mountains out of molehills when we are stressed. Then there is another thing that plays a huge role in the health of our body and the health of our cells that I mentioned earlier, and that is called epigenetics. So this is how external factors influence the cell functioning. Now, most people, it's starting to change now, but people used to believe if it's in your genes, you're buggered, you're going to have that disease. But now that we realize our environment influences the cell functioning and influences the expression of the genes that we have. So what happens is that every cell, they have receptors on there, and then if something comes along, a protein comes along with a message, it locks in, and that then will trigger an intercellular response. So in other words, we have external factors that will now influence how the cell is behaving, and it has a huge influence on which parts of the DNA gets read and used to make proteins. Now, if you want to know more about it, go and Google it. There's a lot of information there. Now, here they talk about the nutrients and toxins, but emotions play a huge role in epigenetics, because basically we have two types of emotions. We have emotions that make us feel good and emotions that make us feel bad. Now, when you have an emotion, your body creates a neuropeptide that then goes onto the membrane of the cell. Oops, there we go. Oops, there we go, and locks in and triggers those responses in the cell. Now, you can imagine when this is a neuropeptide, an emotion that makes you feel bad, it's going to cause havoc in the cell. It's going to use a lot more energy, and there's a lot less energy for repair and restore. But if you have a lot of emotions that make you feel good, then the cells are much healthier and not overworked, and their lifespan is also longer, as far as I understand. So epigenetics is something that you can use, and your emotions is something that you can use to create health in your body. Then there is this famous story, I don't know if you've heard it, of this old Cherokee chief that was telling his grandson how we have two wolves inside of us fighting for power. Now we have one wolf that is about health and happiness, and the other one is about disease and unhappiness. And then the grandson asked, well, which wolf is going to win? And the chief said, it depends on which wolf you feed the most. So how does that apply for us? Well, we know, or many of us know, what we focus on grows. So, and what is happening now in the world? The whole world is focused on death and disease and destruction. We just thrive on it. Well, no, we don't thrive on it. The news channels thrive on it, and we are bombarded with death and disease. And no wonder we're struggling to get rid of this pandemic, because everybody's focused on it, and so. Any questions or comments so far before I continue? If you have any questions, just put them in the chat. I can see the chat, and I will answer your questions as I go along, as I see that it fits in. I'm just going to carry on for now. I will read your questions when they pop up. So we have some understanding now of the problem that we have, and we want to find a solution. What can we do to make sure that our immune system and our body is strong? And thank you, Anneke, for saying that this is powerful. Thank you. Many of you know this quote already. You cannot solve a problem from the same consciousness that created it. We need to see the world anew. And that is how we're going to now look at our health. We're going to look at our health from a whole different perspective. And the perspective we're going to work with is healthy mind equals a healthy body. This is one of my favorite quotes, and I see it a lot with my clients. Your biography becomes your biology. When I speak to my clients, I take history of their life and all the traumas and difficulties they've been going through. And then we look at their biology, at the symptoms that they have, and the body is telling the same story. So that is just shows you how the mind and the body is connected. And there is actually now a whole science of how the mind and the body are connected. And this is called psychoneuroimmunology. Carlene says, great insight, comprehensive approach to explain immune responses. An eye-opener for me, the preference of the body to fight external first and then the internal. Yes, I always wondered why our immune system was weakened when we stressed, and when I got that information, it made sense to me. Okay, now imagine the following scenario. You have a cat and it is screaming, and you get so irritated with the cat that you take it to the vet to cut out its vocal cords because you can't handle the screaming. The cat comes home and now it starts clawing you. You think this cat is so irritating, so you cut the nails, and now the cat is biting you. But what you forgot was you were actually stepping on the cat's tail. Now, the same is with disease. Having symptoms is like this cat screaming. Now, if you go to a doctor and you get some pills to get rid of the symptoms, you're still stepping on the tail. Now it has to claw you. And if you ignore those symptoms, it starts to bite you. So it is so important that you look at your symptoms and check, what am I doing? How am I standing on my own body's tail? Okay, that sounds funny, but what am I doing that my body is giving me these symptoms? And this is when we can have an understanding how our emotional issues that are stuck in the body, if we can address them, it becomes so much easier for the body to heal. And I've seen it with clients. I had like this client with some sort of weird leukemia type cancer. We did the emotional work of why he had it in his body. He still went through the cancer treatment, and he had to have a bone marrow transplant and everything. But the doctors were amazed at how fast he recovered. So it is super important. Deal with those issues, and then the body can heal much faster. So I always recommend to have some of these reference books available. Heal Your Body is one of them. It looks a bit different. This is a very old version by Louise Hay. Then here's another one. Your Body is Telling You to Love Yourself by Lise Bourbeau. Emotions Buried Alive, Never Die by Carol K. Truman, also a great book. And but if you don't have a book, go and Google it. Google what does Louise Hay say about whatever symptom you have, and you will find some answers. Now, the one issue I actually want to look up today is the lungs, because with COVID, the lungs are affected because some people have problems and other people don't. Why is it like that? Well, of course, COVID, we can't find that. Yes, Halo says, exact. Oh, you're giving some more ideas for books. Absolutely. So the COVID is about if you are depressed, but grief hit those lungs a lot. So if you have lost family members due to COVID, now you're struggling with grief. That is weakening your lungs because there are certain neuropeptide receptors for grief on the lungs. So they weaken the lungs. It's important that you deal with your grief and find closure for losing those loved ones. Then it's also about fear of breathing in life, taking in life of the fullest. and not feeling worthy. Lungs is also very much about worth. And then it's my training. So that is what Louise Hay says in some of the other books. And then what I've learned in my training as a medical intuitive, that feeling unworthy and guilt makes us prone to viral and bacterial infections. So this worth issue has a double whammy. It makes us prone to viral infections and it has weakened our lungs. So it is so important to deal with those issues. But we'll talk about that a little later, how in tip 3 and 4, what you can do about that. With tip 2, we can remember we have those, when we're stressed, we have those 3 flat tires. Well, you can reduce and prevent stress and anxiety by doing brain gym. Now, I'm not going to share with you how to do that. There are quite a few people on this group that already know it, but for those of you that don't, when I send out the email with the recording of this session, I will also include how to do these brain gym exercises and a video link for that. All right, and that is about pace. So there's 4 simple exercises that make you positive, active, energetic, and helps you to think clearer. Now, one of the things that I said earlier was, right in the beginning, that it's important that you focus on what you eat. But I'm not going to talk about that today. My favorite one is focus on what is eating you. What is keeping you awake at night? What is your worries? Because if you know what is eating you, that causes those bad feeling emotions that weaken the self. So tip number 3 is remove or address what is eating you. It is so important. I cannot underestimate it. Because if you feel good and you eat rubbish food, your body can handle it. But if you eat as healthy as you can and you have things eating you, that is not going to keep you healthy. You might not get as sick, but it's going to eat you. Then for tip 4 is we need to find and resolve the unresolved traumas and issues. So much of the trauma, some of them, those are the things that are keeping you awake at night, but much of the trauma is already it started already between conception and age 7. So consciously you don't know about it, but it is sitting in the subconscious mind and it's affecting everything that we do. Then if you are struggling with an illness, check what has been going on up to 1 to 2 years before this thing has happened. And for certain diseases can be even 5 years, especially something like cancer, can be brewing for 5 years. So if you have an idea of what's been going on in the last 5 years before the disease started, then you have at least found that trauma. And trauma can also be an accident. And once you found it, you can resolve the trauma for either what's eating you or the trauma by releasing it with forgiveness. And let's see. Interesting that in traditional Chinese medicine, the lungs also have to do with grief. That is definitely not a coincidence. Absolutely. The lung meridian, the emotion attached to the lung meridian is grief and worry. Okay, so we need to work with forgiveness. If we want to work with forgiveness, we can let go of that trauma. Now, forgiveness is not about who's to blame or who's at fault. Definitely not. In the forgiveness that I'm talking about is about letting go of the hope that your past was different, accepting things for what as they were, and now use this moment to move forward in time, as Oprah says it. So forgiveness is nothing to do with the other party, has nothing to do if they deserve it or not. It's all about you and claiming your power back. So how do when I work with forgiveness, what I always suggest to people is, and when in the consultations, we identify the trauma, then we forgive the other parties for their role in it. And then we need to forgive ourselves, because if we were not there, the thing wouldn't have happened. They couldn't hurt us if we were not there. So we have to forgive ourselves for our own role, and then we have to forgive ourselves for being affected so long by that incident. Okay, and now I want to share with you a group exercise of becoming aware of the power of your thoughts. Now, I'm just going to stop sharing my screen. And is there somebody that would love to be my guinea pig? I'm going to put you in the breakout room. Oh, somebody's so scared they fell off already. Now that's not good. Who would like to go into a breakout room just for a minute or two while I give instructions to the group? Anybody? Halo, you want to go out? I'm going to.
Wait. I think I saw Annika raise her hand, so maybe.
Who? Anneke?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to assign.
You were first though.
Yeah, Halo,
Fine.
let me do you. I think Anneke knows what I'm going to do.
Okay.
Wait, now, oh, I should add. No, assign. Sorry, and we are looking for Halo. There we go. Okay, open all rooms. So Halo, you're going to go away, and I will call you back just now. Did you see did you get an invite? Yes. Okay, so we're going to send energy to Halo, but maybe she's not going to be the right person. She might not be affected by it because she's so, anyway, we're going to do it anyway. So what we're going to do is we are going to, when I do say we're going to do number one, we're going to send worry and negative energy to her. Worry about her, be critical of her, whatever you can think of, just send that to her. And then when I do number two, we're going to send her love and appreciation, whatever else you can. Then for number three, we're going to send that negative energy again. And for number four, we're going to send the love again. But in the meantime, with 3 and 4, we're going to do slightly different as with number 1 and 2. Okay, are we ready for that? So I'm going to, so number 1, worry. Number 3 is also worry. Number 2 is love. And number 4. Okay, we're going to pull her back. Let's close the room. Hopefully she's going to come back immediately. Okay, well, there you are. Thank you, Halo. Okay, so we're going to send you some energy and just notice if you pick up anything, okay? Even if it doesn't affect you, maybe it will affect you, maybe it doesn't, but just become aware of what you feel. So I've instructed we're going to do number 1, and maybe we should, for those of you that got camera on, maybe hide your face so it's not obvious what you're thinking. So number 1, we're going to do now, okay? Okay, now, Halo, I'm not sure we can stop. Did you notice anything? I know you're always in such a good mood that you maybe not affected by it, but did you notice anything? Maybe you just something.
I actually felt like I wanted to cry. Does that make sense?
Okay, interesting. Let's do number 2. Yeah, you can say number 2. Number 2, there we go. Okay, how do you feel now?
This one, I think uplifted me, and I felt a tingling in my hands.
Okay, that's amazing. Now what I want you to do is do the brain gym exercise called hookups. I want you to stick your arms forward, put one hand over the other. So the thumbs are down, the palms of the hands are touching. Interlace your fingers, pull it in and under on your chest. Cross your ankles as well. And you behind your teeth, as if you're saying an L. Yeah. And now we are going to do number 3. Okay, so we're going to send you some more in. Okay, how do you feel now?
I don't know if this makes any kind of sense, but I felt like I'm resisting whatever is coming, like I had a shield.
Okay, that makes sense. So keep on sitting like that, and we're going to do number 4. And then I'll explain to you what we
What was it, like this?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so number 4, here we come. Okay, how do you feel now?
This one I felt like I wanted to draw in.
Wanted to cry?
Draw in. Draw
Oh,
in.
draw in. Well, I couldn't have asked for a better guinea pig. So let me tell you what we did. Number 1, we just send you criticism, worry, whatever we could think of, and you sensed it. And we are all over the world. You are in Israel. We have people as we could see in the beginning from different parts in the world. So that was amazing. You sensed that. Then number 2, we send you love and you felt uplifted. Then with number 3, I got you to sit in the hookups, which is the brain gym exercise that is part of those PACE exercises that you will be getting in your email. And you felt shielded. And that's exactly what that exercise does. That negativity, because we were bombarding you again with negativity, it didn't penetrate. And then with the 4th one, the love we sent you, you want to draw it in. So that shield was like semi-permeable, whatever you say it. The love can come through, but it was blocking that negative.
I actually felt like I had a choice if I wanted to let the love come in or not. And so I still felt like there was a shield, but I had a choice.
Exactly. That's fantastic. That's amazing. So why am I sharing this with you? I'm going to share my screen again. Is that what happens most of the time when we hear somebody has COVID or cancer or some other disease, we go, oh, and we worry about this person and we get all upset. And what were we doing? We're draining their energy. They have to deal with their disease and our worry. What I always say is if a person is struggling with an illness, send them love. We've seen it tonight. It affects that person. Send them love, put them in a bubble of love, whatever, pray for them, see them healed, whatever it is that you can imagine to do, but don't send them fear because you are weakening their immune system. Worry about it. Okay, so that is tip number 5. Send love to yourself and others instead of fear. Now, in the traditional way of health, we normally work from the outside in. So we have health, and that affects then how we feel and how we think, and that makes the I am. But with the new way of looking after health, it starts from the inside. So, and we've spoken about that already, is that, the healthy mind, what is going on inside, what's happening on the inside goes out and manifests the health issues that we have. The English have a lovely habit of saying bless you or bless you when you hear somebody's someone is in a poor way, and especially when they're sneezing. So definitely that bless you, that's what I also say to people. Rather say bless you than shame on you or poor you. Rather say bless you. Now, creating the health of the inside out. Now, say that again, our I am, our being, a lot of part of that is developed through the subconscious, or it's a manifestation of the subconscious. Now, the problem is though, that subconscious mind of ours is 95% of the time in charge. Because we are on autopilot 95% of the time, that we don't really monitor our thinking and our feelings. We're just carrying on. And the problem is that that subconscious mind has a lot of fears and worries in there. So we need to retrain that subconscious mind if we want to create health from the inside out. If we want to let go of those old hurts and beliefs, we need to retrain it. Now, before I'm going to share with you what you could do for that, I first want to ask you, how much time and money do you spend on re-educating your subconscious? How much time and money are you spending on educating yourself and actually applying what you've learned? Because knowledge in the head is not reaching the subconscious. Anybody? How much are you doing? How much money have you spent in the last year? Or how much time are you doing on courses? You can, thousands, says, who is that? Must be Halo. Or who is, I can't see. Oh, Anneke, yes. Anneke, thousands. Yes, thousands. Alta also. Okay, that's cool. But a lot of people don't spend at least an hour a day, says Carlene. That's great. That is so important. Now, I just want to ask from you for now, what has been the most valuable up till now, what I've shared with you? Is there anything new that I've shared with you that you didn't know yet? I would love to hear from you. What was the most valuable from our time up to now? Love the exercise with Halo, says Alta. All your analogies are great, says Anneke. Thank you very much. The exercise with Halo, yes, says LTL. I'm not sure who that is. Yeah, isn't it amazing how our thoughts just go through the ether? And Zoe says, love the exercise. Aha, about the external and the internal responses from Carlene, and knowing environmental factors shape us and not just, oh, you didn't know they affected your genes, or did you know that already? I'm not sure. You knew environmental factors affect us, but you didn't know they were affecting our genes. Okay, cool. So just to recap what we've talked about then, if we want to help our immune system, we need to do regular exercises. As I said to you, eat healthy, drink water, all of those. Okay, so you knew it, but we had fresh eyes on it today, and the exercise is sending love instead of fear. Wish I knew that before my friend passed away from COVID. Yeah, love the way. Okay, thank you, Carlene, for your comments there. Okay, so we've learned this. Then hopefully you've also got from here that health starts within. Choose which wolf you're going to focus on. Are you going to focus on health? Or are you going to focus on disease? So in other words, are you going to let go of your fears and worries and start focusing on health and other things that you desire, and instead of focusing on what you don't want? Deal with the issues that are eating you. That is so important. If you are worried about things, do something about it. Send love and light to people who are sick and re-educate the subconscious. That is basically what I've shared with you tonight. Now, would you like to be more healthy? Would you like to find a way to be more healthy or stay healthy? Because both of those are important. Well, how much more energy would you have, or will you have when you are healthy? Or do you have when you're healthy compared to when you're sick? And the question that I have for you is, would you like to hear about a super affordable method of investing in yourself, in retraining the subconscious mind? Would you like to hear about it? Type yes if you want to hear about it. Yes, please, says Anneke. Okay, yes, says Uzma. Yes, and says Antoinette. Okay, so I'm going to share that with you. I've got this amazing tool called affirmations. Some of you know them already, but tonight you're going to get some more information on that. So the affirmations is a web-based app that you can access through my website, and I'm going to show you what you can do with that. And I have tonight, I'm going to talk about the membership affirmations that I have. And let me actually, okay, I'll put that in the chat just now, but I'm going to go to that website. Oh, no, I didn't want to go there. Mouse there. So I'm going to take you to my website, to this website, and share with you what this is about. I'm going to put that web page in the chat as oh, that doesn't. I'm going to put that in the chat so long. So I have this amazing subscription for the affirmations, super affordable, where you can have a full subscription for 197 Rand or $19.95 or something per month, or you can have the light version. And let me share with you what you can have in those packages. So with the full membership, you get allergy relief affirmations, and these have been amazing for people to help to get rid of the allergies. You listen to them every night. I'll share with it how it works. And we have some for optimal learning. Great for kids with learning difficulties, but also if you struggle with focus, it can help with that. We have the optimal weight affirmations. We've got overcoming addiction affirmations. These are helping people to stop drinking, stop smoking. It's really very powerful. And then I have these immune system affirmations. And when I had COVID, this is what I listened to. Every day I had a different set of affirmations to listen to. And I really had just a cold. I had a little bit of a headache, and I didn't get tested, but I know I had COVID because my smell was gone completely. And that was weird because my smell is super sensitive. I sometimes think my smell is as sensitive as my dog. Not exactly, but I've got a really great smell, and it was completely gone. And then you also get this is what you get in the affirmations light, but with the full membership, you get the ones above and this one. Now, these atmosphere affirmations are amazing. Yes, and Carlene was saying how these affirmations has helped her dad to recover from his autoimmune disorder. And the doctors were amazed at how fast he had recovered from being paralyzed and now walking again. I don't know how well he's now, but that was amazing. Okay, but these atmosphere affirmations, now in South Africa, we've got a lot of riots and unrest at the moment. When you play these affirmations, these atmosphere affirmations, it uplifts the energy in your home. And I have seen the stats on people that are playing them, that there is less criminal elements coming to those, to that property when you are playing these affirmations. And I'm glad to hear your dad is great, walking with greater ease and driving. Well done. Then we have the new you affirmations. Now, these affirmations, I used to have two, one of releasing stress and anxiety, and then also how to let go of abuse. And these are now a combination of these two. So you're letting go of your depression and anxiety and replacing abuse or self-abuse with self-respect. And you come out as a new you. The maths and science are brilliant for kids that are learning, not only for maths and science, but also for languages. We've seen that they have helped. And then the wealth mindset is great as well. So people have noticed that they get bigger opportunities and bigger deals come their way when they have that mindset. Now, the affirmations light is the respect. That one is now fallen away. It's now part of the new you affirmations, and you get the atmosphere affirmations and the maths and science and the wealth mindset. Now, so what I have tonight that I've got to share with you is that I have, for the people that sign up for the affirmations tonight, they get a 50% discount on the affirmations on their first purchase. Now, so let me show you how that works. So if you go to this option of getting the full affirmations, you can do it monthly, or you can take the affirmations for the year. Now the year fee, and in dollars, it's $19 something and $9. And with these affirmations, if you sign up for the year, you only pay for 8 months. So let's sign up for that for a moment. And I just want to show you that if you use the promo code HELP, I'm going to view the card, then you get the 50% off for a whole year. But if you say, no, I want to just try it for a month, then you get it off just for the first month. So if I apply this coupon, oh, I by accident had signed up for 2 years and it's not allowing me to do it because signed up for myself. Anyway, doesn't matter. I want to tell you, so let's not do that. Okay, I'm going to just go back to, I forgot about that. Now I can't show you that you're only going to pay about 800 Rand or $80, which works at like 6 Rand, 66 Rand a month. That is not even the price of a hamburger, one takeaway, or $6, just under $7 for the affirmation. So if you, did it show? Okay, well, that's cool. But the whole thing is that if you go, let me post this again. So if you sign up for tonight with that promo code, you get the 50%. If you decide to do it later, you use the promo code, you'll get 10%. But by the time we finish the call, I'm going to change it to 10%. So any questions on this? I'm just going to go back to my PowerPoint presentation. Actually, I can stop sharing. Oh, let me do this again. Okay, yeah, it will work. Oh, even with that thing. Yeah. Let me close that. So any questions maybe on the affirmations or any other questions that you have? And in the meantime, you go and check it out. I can really recommend it. I mean, we've got some people here that have used affirmations. I know, Halo, you've used them for some of your allergies, and Antoinette is using them, and there's some other people that have used them. They really work like a charm, especially the allergy one. Yes, absolutely. But the others are also amazing. So yes, thank you for asking, how long do you listen per day? Well, the great news is you just listen to them while you're sleeping at night. You put them super, super soft. If you don't want to do it at night, you can listen to during the day, but ideally I listen to them at night. And sometimes I don't feel so great and I'm worried about what is going on. Then I put my new you affirmations on and I wake up refreshed and I feel great. Or if I feel a little bit of a snot and a bit of a flu coming on, then I play my immune booster affirmations. And within an hour, the snot dries up and I feel much better. The only reason why I got COVID this time was because I really wanted to get COVID. I wanted to see how my body would respond to COVID and if my tools worked. Well, it worked. And I was concerned about my husband because people said that, my husband, he's got all these other illnesses. He's now in danger with his health. Well, he also got sick and I was concerned, but within 3 days, he also was feeling much better. And we had no problem. But the key also was not to get sucked into the fear of COVID. So we just said, oh no, we're just having a cold. We didn't get tested. And as I said earlier, the only reason why I know I had COVID is because my smell went completely. The smell was fine, but mine went. What Carleen was saying is, so you used your milk allergy is gone, and so you're enjoying dairy. That is fantastic. And then you like to listen to them once out loud and then through the night very softly. Yes, because they are theta healing downloads, you can also listen to them out loud and then just say, yes, I want that. Now, why are these affirmations different from? There are lots of affirmations out there and they are free as well, but they just speak to the mind. And my affirmations and they only put positive stuff in. But remember, our subconscious mind is full of all sorts of rubbish. So my affirmations take a lot of the rubbish out, as much as I could think of, for the different things, and then we put the positive statements in. And when you play them softly, they bypass the conscious mind and they go straight into the subconscious, and they work like a charm. So that is what I've got to say for tonight. Any questions, any other questions about the affirmations or anything else? Please go and check it out. Sign up if you can. Can you talk about acne? Yes, I can talk about acne. Your son has it. So the interesting thing is, if you look up acne here, that is about anger and resentment. You'll see those pimples as little volcanoes going, you know, there's something that he's upset about and angry about. And then the allergy affirmations can work for it. And because also hormones are changing. So that is something that I can still share quickly, because that I haven't showed you yet. I'm just going to share how it actually looks when you go to the affirmations. So can you play the atmosphere affirmations in the one room and play them that affects the house? Yes, because we are now playing them in a building in Johannesburg, and it seems to affect all the people, but we're only playing them in the foyer, and it seems to be affecting everybody in the building. They're fighting less, so you do not have to play them in separate rooms if you don't have that option. And what I wanted to show you, normally if the screen is wider, then you see the proper menu, but you can, the good thing is that, oh no, I know what I can do. The good news is that you can play, because it's a web-based app, you can play it on any device. You can play it on your computer and a phone, a tablet, anything. But it does use a little bit of data. So I'm going to go here, are my affirmations. There are some free ones if you want to test that out. But let's have a look at these allergy affirmations. So in the case of the pimples, what I would recommend that you first go to what we call the regular allergies. It's just going to open there. And it does sometimes take a little bit of time to load up, but I'm just going to show you anyway while it's loading. There we go. So the first one, these are the immune booster affirmations. They are fantastic. They're also part of the free ones, but when I had COVID, I found this was not enough. I had to listen to the immune system ones as well. Anyway, so here you get viruses, all of those. And then we went day one, it's about releasing fear. And you'll see there are 3 for those: viruses, bacteria, just to really boost your immune system at the moment, and the balanced mind-body system, and then releasing fear. And then on the next day, these number 2 and 3 stay the same. And then we deal with general allergies. Now, the interesting thing is that what this one is about so often we're used to getting negative energy, and this is about teaching you how to get energy with a positive attitude. And so when you press play, you're going to hear my voice.
I release the need
and you can
for negative attention.
This volume button, and you can use the volume button on your device. It's really soft. Okay, but I'm not going to. So you will have me whispering in your ear as you play the affirmations. And then we have here the new inner world is based on the works Eckhart Tolle. He's got a book, New World, about where we stop fighting, and the new inner world is to create inner peace. So they are really good. Allergy for self, for people with autoimmune disorders. This is the one you play because people with allergies, with autoimmune disorder, are allergic to themselves, and they start breaking down their own body. This one is great for if you have a child with allergies. So if you have a child with pimples, then you listen to that one because you also have a message. And so there are in total 28 days for that one. Now, once you've worked through all of those 28 days, I'm just going to go, then you can go to the second set. And I'm just going to go back to home one. Now it's not showing so nicely on the screen. So with the second set, so you still is part of the allergy affirmations. Once you've done do the regular affirmations, then you can do the autoimmune disorder or the dairy or the digestive ones. But in this case, for your son, I would suggest he does the hormonal imbalances because hormones go out of whack when we struggle to forgive. And pimples are also about anger and resentment. So this one will really help for that. But I do suggest, because this one has different ones that it plays every day. Just waiting. Okay. So you could even actually start just with that one straight away. But most of the time, I suggest people listen to the regular ones first, and then you can play them. Then after that, you go to the hormonal ones. Thank you, Halo, that you like my website. Thank you very much. I've got some great people that have helped me with that. Zoe, did that answer your question? Are you still here? I'm going to stop sharing.
Yes, yes, thanks, Hannah. That's it's very comprehensive. I didn't realize it was like a full-on program. That's amazing. Wow, that's amazing. I'm gonna, yeah, amazing. Okay, because definitely there's anger. You know, there's a whole lot of stuff, but I'm yeah, I can't help with that. You know, that's something that's
he needs to work.
internal.
But the thing is that maybe, you know, the youngsters nowadays are more open to, they like to use like this modern technology to deal with some of their stuff. And then you could also say, you know, can we play this song at night? And let's see, because they want to get rid of the pimples, you know.
Definitely.
So it's about, we're doing this to get rid of your pimples. And they don't have to go to therapy or get this medication that can, I just was speaking to one of the youngsters that I'm working with, also with huge skin problems. And he was saying how that Racatang or whatever that medication is,
That's terrible.
messes up their minds.
Yeah. Well, I was going to send him to my traditional Chinese medicine doctor because they deal with pimples amazingly at that system of medicine. But I think it's more than just physical, you know, it's an emotional thing too, for
Well,
sure.
remember the cat you're stepping on the tail? If you just take the pimples away, you're not dealing with the underlying issues, and they're going to come back later in life. So dealing with the stuff now is so important. And I mean, this is such an affordable, non-intrusive way of dealing with it.
Oh, no, amazing. Okay.
So,
Thanks.
cool. Okay, well, we have done the hour, we've just gone a little bit over time there. If you have any more questions, feel free to contact me. But remember, I'll give you another hour or so to make use of the 50% discount. And otherwise, it will be again the full, well, you get a 10% discount on whatever you decide to purchase, being it 1 month or a year. Okay. Well, thank you everyone for being here tonight. I'm glad you enjoyed it. It was great that you spent time with me. I'm always honored when people show up, and I realize that it is important to work on yourself, because nowadays, everything starts here. And so if you can invest in what's here between your ears, I'm just always amazed of how much money we spend on fancy things, and then people don't want to spend on this part. And this is where it starts. And by the way, Zoe, I remember I spoke to you about my Bliss coach. Halo is my Bliss coach. So if you ever want to do that training, I'll put you in contact with.
Yes,
I
thank
had
you. I signed up to do it, but it was the week that I was before I was going away, and I had to like write so many things. I just didn't have time. But
She'll do it again later this year. So that's cool.
great. I will join definitely the next time. It's just bad timing.
Yeah, no, that's cool. And Annika, you wanted to say something?
Yeah, I just wanted to say, to add something to what you said about the mind and how important it is. I heard this analogy that, not being able to control your mind or your thoughts is like having a Lamborghini on the driveway and not being able to drive it. So yes, I mean, you want to just look at that sports car, or do you want to actually drive it? And you have to know the mind and the thoughts. You have to be able to control it to get the benefit out of life.
Absolutely, that's a great analogy.
I was just thinking this week, like, why do people not do this, right? Why do people not train their minds in different ways? And I'm thinking, okay, if I told you that being an excellent violinist was going to make your life, you can get whatever you want in your life if you just train to be the world-class
violinist.
violinist. Would you train every day? And the answer is no, you won't. So you're gonna get if you don't get the best teacher right from the start, you're gonna get a crappy teacher. You're gonna feel like crap. You're gonna stop. So you have to find the right teacher all the time. It's like finding the right teacher that will keep you going, because then you're really realizing how good you're going to get.
That's
so
amazing.
It's really, it's really.
But I've noticed that a lot of people don't want to look inside because they're afraid that they're going to find there. But that's why the forgiveness is so great. And this is why the app is so wonderful, because it does a lot of the programming and the cleaning up for you without you having to dig. And because we don't want to focus, remember what you focus on, that grows. So you don't want to focus on all the things that are wrong with you. And just let it go while you're sleeping, and you wake up refreshed and you feel so great. And then the next day you put it on again, because like your house, you don't clean your house only once in your life. No, you clean your house, if not every day, hopefully every week. And if all fails, maybe every month. But you do realize you have to keep cleaning, because we collect so much dirt. And the same is with our mind. I am my biggest fan of my own product. I've developed it for me. I use it just about every night. And people can share it with me. Wonderful. Yeah.
I think that's amazing that you are the opposite of the shoemaker who walks barefoot. I love shoemakers who walk with the best shoes possible.
Yeah, because your own advertisement.
Absolutely. I agree.
Well, have a nice evening, and thank you again for attending. I really appreciate it. And I'll put that link in there one more time for those of you that want to make use of this. Go, because I cannot emphasize it enough. Good night, everybody, and we will see you soon. I will be doing another webinar in a month's time, and I will be speaking, I'm not sure yet about relationships, or I'm going to speak about body aches, the headaches, the back aches, shoulder pains, what you can do about that. So yeah, hopefully
whatever you speak about, I'm sure it's going to be fascinating. I enjoyed this one, really. It was like, oh, I haven't heard this one before.
I'm glad, because I mean, you're such a knowledge gatherer. I'm glad I could tell you something you didn't know yet, or you'd forgotten. Okay, good night, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you. It was great.
I'm glad you were all here. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Hannah. Bye.
Bye. Bye. Thank you. Bye.